Talking about cellular respiration. So what is cellular respiration? Cellular respiration is the process eukaryotic cells use to break down food molecules to get chemical energy for cell functions. It's important to note that cellular respiration takes place in the cells of both animals and plants. It uses oxygen, which helps to explain why it's called aerobic respiration. Without air, cellular respiration would not be used, and cells would get energy by breaking down food through the process of fermentation or anaerobic respiration. Cellular respiration can be divided into three main stages. First step is glycolysis. It takes place in the fluid inside the cell called the cytoplasm. It does not require oxygen and can happen in both the presence and absence of oxygen. During glycolysis, a molecule called glucose, which comes from the food we eat, is broken down into two smaller molecules called pyruvate. This process releases a small amount of energy and also produces molecules called ATP that carry the energy to where it is needed in the cell. Next up is the Krebs cycle. If oxygen is present, the pyruvate molecules produced in glycolysis move into a different part of the cell called the mitochondria, where the Krebs cycle takes place. Here, the pyruvate is further broken down, releasing more energy. The energy is captured by special molecules and carried to the next step. The Krebs cycle also produces carbon dioxide as a waste product, which we breathe out. Last up is the electron transport chain. In the final stage of cellular respiration, the energy-rich molecules produced in the earlier steps are used to make even more ATP. This happens in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. The electron transport chain is like a mini power plant inside the cell where the energy released from breaking down the molecules is used to create lots of ATP, which is the main energy currency of the cell. Here we have some visual representations of the three steps we talked about. As you can see, glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell and does not require oxygen. And as glucose is broken down, it produces pyruvate, ATP, and water. Next, we can see that the Krebs cycle is a chain of reactions occurring in the mitochondria that uses oxygen and gives out water and carbon dioxide as products. Lastly, the electron transport chain at the bottom of the page shows how energy is transferred from the electron carriers to even more ATP molecules to ultimately power the cell.